Welcome to the 2022 LASA Excellence in Aged Services Awards. The awards celebrate the passion, contribution and achievements of organisations, teams and individuals in the service of older Australians. This year we have 17 national finalists who have demonstrated excellence through their significant contribution, initiative and dedication in the delivery of aged care and services. Each finalist exemplify the values of integrity, care and responsibility, and/or ingenuity. We wish all the finalists the best of luck. It is now my great pleasure to hand over to our Master of Ceremonies Kerry Lanchester, General Manager of Member Relations at LASA, and Ian Collier, Business Relationship Manager at HESTA.
Hello and a warm welcome to all of you for joining us for the LASA National Excellence in Aged Services Awards for 2022. Today we meet as members of LASA, and as we meet, we acknowledge the traditional custodians and owners of these sites. We acknowledge and respect their continuing culture and the contribution they make to the life of our cities and regions. We pay respect to their elders past, present and emerging, and we commit ourselves to the ongoing work of reconciliation throughout our country. LASA also pay our respects to the elders from the communities which you all represent. This year has been one of many challenges. COVID, financial pressures, award changes, constantly changing regulations, standards, legislation and expectations, workforce shortages and the additional pressures that are being placed upon our services and workforce. But today is about celebrating the one thing that has not waned throughout the past year, our amazing workforce. And today we recognise and acknowledge all that is remarkable within our sector and organisations. We stop to say thank you to everyone who has worked tirelessly and sacrificially to care for older, vulnerable Australians. Australia's ability to support our population to age well is dependent upon the people and organisations that provide these services. Our workforce is the lifeblood of our industry, and our people are the nexus of thriving, meaningful relationships with older Australians and their families. So I ask you all, what does it mean to work in aged services? It means having the opportunity to make the lives of older Australians safer, supported, interesting, fulfilling and happy. It means we strive to provide them with the best quality care. It means that when you go home at the end of the day, you will feel as though you've contributed to making someone's life satisfying, enjoyable, even better for being there and doing your job. And it also means that you are contributing to a better society. This sector-wide passion has been articulated recently in the Aged Care Workforce Industry Council's workforce narrative, when it's reported that the top reason why people are drawn to work in aged care is the consumer, the desire to interact with and to care for elderly people. We know that our population is ageing and we are living longer. As a result, the demand for aged services is growing, as is demand for quality and greater choice. And we as a sector are working hard to respond to these demands. To do this, we want to encourage and foster a workforce of creative thinkers, of innovators and doers, the kind of people who want to contribute their ideas and dedication to our aged services industry. People like you. And through all the challenges and the sheer hard work, there have been many individuals and teams who have shone brightly, who have shown the way for others on how we can best provide for and serve our older Australians. They have demonstrated the best in innovation, creativity, dedication, sound management and organisation and exceptional quality care, all delivered with conviction and compassion while keeping the older Australians central to all that they do. I'm delighted that we have 17 finalists across our 5 award categories, and the categories this year include the individual, executive leader, volunteer, team and organisation. I would like to congratulate each of our finalists and thank them for their contributions to excellence in aged services. Each and every one of you are examples of the best in aged services in Australia, and we're here today to celebrate you and the people who make this happen. Now more than ever, the demand for individuals like you to work in aged services just keeps growing. Know that the work that you are doing is valued as an integral part of the community, and we thank you. A society is measured by how it cares for its elderly, and please join with me to celebrate the excellence in aged services provided by these leading examples among our members. I'd now like to introduce Ian Collier, Business Relationship Manager from our sponsor HESTA.
Thank you, Kerry, and to the incredible team at LASA for putting on this year's National Excellence in Aged Services Awards. would also like to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land at which we're meeting today, the Turrbal and Jagera people where we are filming, and pay my respects to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander elders, past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to any Indigenous people that are digitally attending today. Today we are celebrating some incredible achievements across aged care. At HESTA, we're a specialist super fund dedicated to health and community services, dedicated to people like you, people who make our world better every single day. Around a quarter of our members work in aged care, and we love them for the integral service to our community. As partners in your future, we want to help drive meaningful change for the sector and the millions of Australians who depend on it. We advocate on behalf of our members on many issues that affect you throughout your working lives and further into your retirement. Issues like the $450 super threshold, where you needed to earn at least $450 per month per employer to qualify for your super guarantee. This disproportionately impacted people working in aged care. To help make our super system fairer for those on lower wages or who work multiple part-time or casual roles, we had a long-held belief that the government needs to remove this threshold. We advocated for this change on behalf of our members, and I'm really delighted to say that as of 1st of July, employees will no longer have to earn that $450 per month to receive their super contributions. Every hour worked will now receive their super guarantee. It's a great result for aged care workers, HESTA members, and indeed for all Australians. Prior to and during COVID, we also conducted workforce research. We launched our findings in the Aged Care Workforce Insights report last year, which we made available to our members and key partners to help with their workforce planning, which can ultimately improve the working experiences and retirement outcomes for our members. Within this research, we discovered many key findings. Among them, we saw a greater need for recognition of your difficult work, your incredible level of care, and your continued devotion. It is this feedback from our members that encourages us to continue to partner with LASA to help deliver the Excellence in Aged Services Awards program, a program dedicated to celebrating the outstanding achievements and contributions made by individuals, teams and organisations. Contributions which are so critical and we're extremely proud to be a part of. We have appreciated our long-standing partnership with LASA for many years, a partnership that supports HESTA's growth as a leading specialist fund, one committed to delivering the best outcomes for our members across all of health and community services. We appreciate the incredible work you do for our elderly and look forward to our ACPA partnership for many years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. And this year we're delighted to also be supported by McCulloch Robertson. Unfortunately, Tim Longwell could not be with us today, but I am sure, like all of you, he will be watching from home with great excitement.
McCulloch Robertson is very pleased once again to be involved in the Excellence in Care Awards with our co-sponsor HESTA. We'd like to congratulate all of the nominees for awards this year. You won't be surprised to know that there was vigorous debate between the judges in all of the different award categories, given the high quality of nominations and the diverse nature of the contributions you've all made to the sector. In many cases, these awards could have been given to any of a number of different nominees. For those who have won your category, it's a true achievement. You are all in stellar company. Thank you also for your ongoing contribution to aged care. The reason the aged care remains in the news and remains front of mind for many people in Australia at the moment is because there is no more important work done in Australia or anywhere. The nominees and winners of these awards are typical of those who in the sector make a difference to our ageing friends and family in a profound way every single day. Again, thank you very much for your contribution, and again, congratulations for your nomination, your awards and your ongoing work in the sector.
Thank you, Ian, Tim and the teams at HESTA and McCulloch Robertson for supporting these important awards. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our first category, the Individual Award. It is the individuals who make a difference on a daily basis to the lives of older people. No matter how large or small their contribution or in what way they contribute, we know they are doing it with passion, providing exceptional care and ensuring their clients feel valued and important. Today we have 3 exceptional finalists in the individual award category. Maggie Ashton, Hospital at Home East, Silver Chain. Maggie is the clinical nurse manager for Silver Chain's Hospital, Eastern Hospital at the Home, or HATH team. Silver Chain's HATH service is the largest in Australia by geography, covering more than 6,400 square kilometres in the Perth metro area.
I was approached by the infectious diseases cohort at a tertiary hospital to partner with them to see if we could administer some subcutaneous antibiotics to a select cohort of clients that had mainly poor vein access, so they had to stay in hospital for much longer instead of coming home and receiving services. So we partnered with them in a pilot study of 21 clients, and that pilot study was the first of its kind here in Australia. Which was pretty amazing because it allowed us to see a different cohort of clients, particularly the aged and elderly clients that weren't able to have antibiotics in their home because of the poor venous access. And since then, we have now created a policy and procedure, rolled out education to all the different nurses, and it's now just part of the suite of services that we can offer.
Julie Dimmick from St Vincent's Care. Julie has worked at St Vincent's Care for the past 4 years and is the Head of Clinical Governance at St Vincent's Care Services, a leading provider of aged care and retirement services in Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria.
I think I've made 2 contributions that actually come into each other in the aged care industry over my years. One of those things is, as my team and I, our real focus is on making sure that our roles are to make the roles of the jobs of the people in the facilities easier. So if we can make their jobs easier, then that's the outcome we're looking for. So the ability to understand legislation, put that into an easy, understandable format for the facilities, and a couple of the examples are in the submission with the SQF dashboard. So we've used a whole lot of information, putting it all coming from different systems into one place that gives all of the staff in our 23 facilities over our 3 states the ability to really quickly see where they need to make improvements, where feedback's coming back from families, residents, staff, areas in the clinical space.
And Melanie Wagner from Lutheran Services. Melanie joined Lutheran Services in the role of night duty personal carer at Tabeel Aged Care. Across her years at Lutheran Services, she has held many roles, including an RN at Tabeel, and over time moved through clinical nurse and care manager roles to eventually become the clinical and operations manager at Tabeel Aged Care.
Look, the biggest contribution I truly believe is what we're doing right now, and that's the nurse practitioner program in aged care. So we started a pilot project where I was actively participating with, the team from Lutheran Services, and there isn't much evidence around, so we had to really start from scratch. And in May last year, it was like, okay, we'll do this. How do we set it up? How do we create a model of care that works collaboratively with doctors and other healthcare providers? How do we implement that? But look, in the last 12 months, it's clear that that's probably the biggest contribution I was able to have.
It is with great pleasure that I can now announce that the winner of the LASA Individual Award for 2022 goes to Melanie Wagner from Lutheran Services. Congratulations, Melanie, and the team at Lutheran Services.
It's what when you have somebody who wants to talk about it, and I'm not scared anymore, like the journey in Australia. Like, I know that, 15 years ago or whatever, you would never have been allowed to say to somebody, or, mum's actually dying or has started a journey on palliative care, where now it's really needed that you support people and support the GPs as well, you know, who are strapped for time, don't have necessarily the resources to come and sit there and spend a couple of hours with a resident and their family members. You know, we include them, but I don't have those time constraints. You know, I'm just there for them, support them, and hopefully making sure that we meet all their care goals.
Congratulations, Melanie. Melanie originally completed her aged care nursing qualifications in Germany before moving to Australia 17 years ago. After facing adversity and setbacks, Melanie had to recomplete her studies in Australia. She was motivated to progress her career in aged care, particularly focusing on end-of-life care, despite these setbacks, because she found many families were ill-prepared when it came to palliative care, death and dying. Also reluctant to speak about it due to those topics still being taboo in the eyes of society. Across her time at Lutheran, she has significantly contributed to the care of older people through the implementation of the Nurse Practitioner pilot program that improved the lives of residents through provision of timely access to healthcare, complex issues, management and medical support. The judges commented that Melanie has demonstrated the important and significant contribution nurse practitioners have in this very sensitive and controversial aspect in aged care. They noted that she was innovative, practical and totally committed to this exceptional and unique role. They also said that Melanie is a wonderful leader who is full of initiative, and they commented that the nurse practitioner role is vital and she is leading the way. They also thought that Melanie's idea to expose graduates to aged care in a holistic, interdisciplinary way and non-hierarchical is a great way to encourage people into the sector. Further, her initiative to create bubbles of 3 to sustain their social program for clients was brilliant. Now we move on to the Volunteer Award. New in 2022, this award recognises the unsung heroes of our industry, the volunteers. This award is for a volunteer who consistently goes above and beyond through their initiative or contributions to improve the lives of older Australia. This year, we have 3 amazing volunteer finalists that are each playing a significant role in the care and lives of older people. Phil Haplin, St Vincent's Care, Castledine and Boondall. Phil is a much-loved volunteer that is a resident favourite and effortlessly takes them back to their younger selves with toe-tapping renditions of songs from their youth. Phil has been singing and playing guitar at the SVCS residential aged care facilities for more than 3.5 years.
Conduct a sing-along with various houses at St Vincent's twice a week for an hour, and we just sing along with very old songs that come from the recesses of my memory from when I was a child, and my mum and dad were great sing-alongers. And I've been 4 years now, or nearly 4 years at St Vincent's. We had a year or so off, may have even been a little longer than that during the COVID lockdown. So I managed to have a weekly sing-along happening with one of the houses via Zoom for all of that time, and we got by. It's nowhere near the same as having a sing-along live in person, but we got by for that period of time.
Jennifer Chris, Montefiore. Jennifer Chris has been volunteering at Montefiore the past 11 years, contributing over 2,000 volunteer hours. She plays a critical role in helping ensure high quality of residential care and support is maintained. She displays immense integrity, empathy and compassion in the performance of all of her tasks.
Well, my name is Jennifer Chris. Everybody calls me Jenny. And I've been volunteering for 11 years. And my roles have been many and varied, from transports to medical appointments and or shopping. And once a year, I've transported folk here that wish to visit the cemetery each year to pay their respects to loved ones. I've played bridge. I've been asked to play bridge and Scrabble and have chats. do surveys and participate in packing bees. So, and many other things. Whatever they've asked me to do, I've been available to do for them.
And Taylor Moon, Silver Chain Group. Taylor is 28 years old and has volunteered with Silver Chain Group's Community Connections program since 2018. As a Community Connections volunteer, Taylor was matched up with a client in his local community who's been identified as isolated and lonely. He has assisted his client with reconnecting with their community, provided companionship, and has helped them to continue to do the things they love.
So my actual job at the time was a retail job, and my manager knew about Barry. I'd spoken about Barry before, who I've been looking after since 2018. Just mentioned how he was going, and work were running a type of promotion at the time during Christmas, or like an event where they basically were wanting to help someone that was less fortunate during Christmas time, and Barry had just lost his eyesight, and I'd mentioned that to her the previous week. So she basically said to me, "Oh, do you think there's some way we could try and help him?" Work are offering this event, and I thought that he might benefit from it the most. So we came up with an idea of buying an audiobook for him, because he was really into like when he could read, obviously, and watch documentaries. He loved his wartime documentaries and that kind of thing. So we came up with an audiobook idea, and we had it posted to him, and my manager came to meet him, and yeah, he was using the audiobook so much that the one that we bought him, I think, broke recently. So his sons ended up buying him another one. But yeah, it was such a nice idea from her, and yeah, it's something that he still uses to this day. He's got a better one now. So yeah, I always go back to that story when people ask me like something that we've done for him, because I knew of Barry before he lost his eyesight, but obviously when he did lose his eyesight, we had to work around that. So the audiobook was an amazing idea for a vision impaired person. That was one that we found specifically for him that, yeah, he still uses.
Congratulations to all the volunteers on your achievements so far. It is with great pleasure that I can now announce that the winner of the LASA Volunteer Award for 2022 goes to Taylor Moon from Silver Chain. Congratulations, Taylor. We hope you will continue to volunteer for many more years to come.
I would definitely say go for it, even if you have the slightest inclination of giving it a go. I was definitely somebody that didn't really think I'd do volunteer work, and then one day I just saw it pop up when I was doing an assignment online. I was like, oh, I might give it a go with Silver Chain, and I'm still doing it to this day with the same client. It's a relationship that you can't really replace. Obviously, I was very lucky. Me and Barry get along so well, and that's something that I never expected as well, with the age gap.
Congratulations, Taylor. After starting in 2018, Taylor was first matched with a client who had no idea what they were going to talk to a young person about. But 4 years later, their relationship is a testament to the compassion and commitment of Taylor, having the courage to persist and forge an incredible bond. This is a fantastic example of the power of an intergenerational relationship. Taylor is consistent with his visits and check-ins by phone. He is highly respectful of the client's choices and supports him in maintaining his independence. For example, if they go out, the client does the ordering at the cafe. The judges said, wow, what a brilliant example of a successful intergenerational and respectful relationship. One judge commented that this should be a documentary on TV to encourage other young people to engage with older Australians. They also commented that Taylor's use of tech to engage his client is to be recommended. They said that Taylor has proven to be a generous, passionate community connections volunteer and a real asset to the Silver Chain community. he demonstrates how intergenerational relationships can be developed through care and commitment. Now we turn to the Executive Leader Award, another new and exciting award for 2022. This award is for an executive leader within the aged services industry who demonstrates outstanding leadership and excellence through the contribution and dedication in the delivery of aged care and services. Our three nominees are Elizabeth Drozd, Australian Multicultural Community Services. Elizabeth is the CEO of the Australian Multicultural Community Services, or AMCS, and leads a not-for-profit organisation that every day strives to make a positive difference to the lives of Victorian seniors of migrant background.
And the difference I make every day in my role and the organisation that I lead is really the practical assistance that I've mentioned. And so in any given week, we support about 2,000 Victorians with various supports and care, depending on what they need and prefer. So working with them during the sort of, the time that they are now enjoying, hopefully as great retirement, and taking advantage of the opportunities that not working full-time does provide. So that's really one very important outcome, because we all want to be independent, but the reality is that there's a certain time for some Victorians, some seniors that comes where they are not able to do everything themselves. And we are there as a helping hand. Whatever they need, whenever they need us, we are there. So that's number one.
Jude Emma from Wesley Mission, Queensland. Jude joined Wesley Mission, Queensland as Chief Executive Officer in 2020, just as the aged care industry entered the most turbulent time in its history. Jude's previous clinical experience as a registered nurse and the leadership skills she developed as CEOs of hospitals saw her well placed to lead WMQ through the combined impacts of the findings of the Royal Commission into Aged Care Quality and Safety and the COVID-19 pandemic.
So I joined the sector at one of the most turbulent times in our history. We all know the incredible pressures that we've been under from the Royal Commission, and at a time when we were really struggling to find our financial sustainability. And then came the pandemic, and really that is when I started within aged care, and it brought a fresh set of really risky challenges to us. So I've had a really wonderful team that I've been working with, and in order to respond to those challenges, I've led an organisational change program focusing on enhancing our culture of teamwork and having a united approach across aged care and the other services that we provide at WMQ. So we've invested in systems to enhance our data-driven decision-making, and that's been a really important tool to enable us to do our work better.
Nick Macdonald from Prestige In-Home Care. Nick founded Prestige In-Home Care 17 years ago and has been leading the organisation as a CEO since its inception. Nick is active within the industry and always willing to share ideas and strategies to bring the whole industry along on an improvement journey.
It's a really interesting one. I guess my contribution or my leadership has changed over time as our business has grown, from right back in the beginning where it was just me and delivering care and then having a small team of nurses and carers and I suppose bringing them along on that journey. Through to, I suppose, my role now. We use a lot of sporting analogies in our business, and I think more of the coaching in say a football team rather than a player on the field, which is always tricky, especially if you're a founder and and it probably is not isolated to founders, but you very much want to still lace your boots up and get on the field and contribute by rolling your sleeves up, whereas I think far more of my time these days is around sort of empowering people and standing back, which is not easy at all. We've got a workforce now of over 600 direct care staff. We have over 120 people in our offices, and I suppose that mentoring of young leaders and people that are new to our industry, that have no understanding of the industry, but fantastic skills and talents that are coming into our space. That's kind of, a very exciting element for me.
Congratulations to each finalist, and thank you for the incredible leadership you have shown through some incredibly tough years. It is with great pleasure that I can now announce that the winner of the LASA Executive Leader Award for 2022 goes to Elizabeth Droyst from Australian Multicultural Community Services.
And there's one more that does come to mind, and that is really my role, given that I've worked in aged care and home care for such a long time. I am now focusing also on preparing the next of aged care leaders. I think good leadership really means that we don't just lead, but we make sure that we are preparing other leaders to take their place and really continue to lead the organizations into the future, and use their particular attributes and ways of wanting to do things differently, and we are there to support them in that journey.
Elizabeth Droyst has been providing access and support to older people with language barriers and disabilities to enable older support to receive support and relief services in the comfort of their own home. Elizabeth ensures that AMCS's social support and direct assistance has protected people from disease, social dislocation and loneliness. Hence, multicultural communities can live life on an equal level, halting the poverty cycle in many cases and increasing overall life expectancy. Elizabeth is a champion of anti-ageism. In 2020, Elizabeth helped launch a report that founded the 8 attributes to ageing well: respect, financial and personal security, health autonomy, mobility, purpose, and connection to family, friends, and society. The judges commented that Elizabeth's contribution to the sector, and CALD specifically, has been enormous and impactful, covering everything from grassroots programs to support older people from CALD and ATSI backgrounds, to training advocacy, data-led decisions, business growth, immigration advocacy, and research. They said it was an outstanding submission, and it was obvious that Elizabeth has had a long and illustrious history in multicultural community services. They could see she is a recognised and honoured leader and advocate for the development of appropriate care for seniors who are from culturally and linguistically diverse backgrounds. The Team Award recognises a team within an organisation that is a part of the aged services sector who have demonstrated ongoing excellence through an initiative or contribution that improves the lives of older people in the delivery of care and services. The 3 finalists are Jasmine Grove team, the IRT group. Jasmine Grove is an innovative new retirement model that provides a more financially attainable accommodation option for single women. Set within the new Henry Brooks estate at IRT Kanuhuka Retirement Village, Jasmine Grove works towards addressing the problem of social isolation by providing affordable homes for single women within a collaborative housing environment to create a safe, supporting and connected community.
Using Jasmine Grove, the team created an Australian-first prototype and it integrates the principles of collaborative living into a retirement village setting. And it's a truly customer-centric solution that was designed, in consultation with the residents that now live there, through multiple layers of discussion and workshops to bring us to the point of the product coming to fruition. And it really is representative of international best practice. We're very thankful to a number of different contributors, some universities that we use to benchmark some of our thinking. The University of Technology in Sydney, and to Taxi, also to some international partners as well who allowed us to benchmark the design principles. And Jasmine Grove now features 8 one-bedroom, fully self-contained units. They're all pet-friendly, and it caters to independent residents and those with limited mobility and some health constraints and conditions as well. And they're homes that are really fit for purpose. They have modification options built in, integrated dementia design principles.
South East Sydney team from Catholic Healthcare. The South East Sydney team, a dedicated team of 170 employees, works across various locations, servicing Greater Metropolitan Sydney's older Australians to help support them to live fulfilled lives. The team includes 140 community workers and care advisors who embody Catholic healthcare values as they provide quality care and tailored programs and services to a demographically diverse base.
South East Sydney Home and Community Service region extends from South East Sydney down to the Illawarra and out to the Blue Mountains, so it's quite a big geographical area. My team includes 170 dedicated employees who help support Australians live their best lives. 140 of these team members are frontline staff, so community workers and care advisors who provide quality care and tailored programs and services to a demographically diverse base. So these include inner city clients experiencing homelessness, mental health issues, drug and alcohol issues, to some of the wealthiest suburbs in the country who want support to help age at home. I'm so proud of my team who live and breathe our Catholic healthcare values in their everyday role in caring for our clients.
And the creative therapy team from Montefiore. The creative therapies team forms part of Montefiore's broader allied health department, which falls under the Director of Professional Services. Creative therapies form an integral component of the allied health services, where interdisciplinary care is the key focus in order to best meet an individual's needs and preferences, and ensuring these are resonant to their cultural values.
We have lots of wonderful initiatives that we are able to support. Recently, we supported a resident who was a seamstress in her life. She came into the home after having had a stroke, had never done art before, and has been encouraged to be able to engage in painting, and she uses one hand. And recently we entered her into an external community competition and she won first prize. So quite an extraordinary realization of a talent that she never knew she had. We also have yoga therapy that we have combined with music therapy. So we have live musical component that's integrated with yoga delivery. And that's an incredibly enriching and very nourishing program that we run, both for groups and individuals. And we also do dance movement therapy for both individuals and groups, as well as music therapy for delivery as per people's preference.
It is now with great pleasure that I can announce that the winner of the LASA Team Award for 2022 goes to Jasmine Grove team at IRT Group. Congratulations.
IRT, we hope, using Jasmine Grove, we've built really solid foundations for an example that the industry could hopefully follow, and that we believe that the model translates well, even to a larger scale than we set out today. We continue to assess and to share those learnings from Jasmine Grove, and the demand is huge for the product. With the interest that we've seen outnumbered the available places by a ratio of 32 to 1. So the challenge of meeting that societal ageing demand is far greater than any one single provider. So we're really happy to participate in awards like this as a platform to be open and to share our learnings around the process. And we're strong advocates for similar communities into the future that provide this model and this model of empowerment for ageing older Australians.
The Jasmine Grove team addresses 3 major societal challenges with direct value to the aged services industry: social isolation, housing affordability, and economic disadvantage being faced by women over the age of 55. The team created an Australian-first prototype that integrates the principles of collaborative living into a retirement village setting. Jasmine Grove features 8 one-bedroom, fully self-contained, pet-friendly villas, catering to independent residents and those with mobility limitations and health challenges, with home modification options and integrated dementia design principles. The precinct is intentionally designed to focus line of sight and the shared pathways and community building to promote incidental social interactions. The overall project took more than 3 years with a concerted effort of a multidisciplinary team within IRT. The judges commented that the Jasmine Grove team have pioneered a solution for a known problem: housing, stress, isolation and poverty among women over 55. The co-design and multidisciplinary approach will allow these vulnerable women to age in place and accommodate their physical and mental needs. Also gives them agency. They said that Jasmine Grove is an innovative and impressive newly developed housing concept designed to encourage participation, sharing and community building, while enabling residents to also have their own private and secure home. It provides affordable housing for independent women and those with mobility limitations and health issues. The judges had a particularly hard time picking a winner for this category and have therefore also decided to award a highly commended award to both of our other finalists, South East Sydney team and Creative Therapy team Montefiore. Congratulations. The South East Sydney team operates from a base in Waterloo, including 3 advisors with a strong focus on assistance with care and housing initiatives for older people in the local community, including those who are experiencing homelessness and involved in hoarding and squalor programs. The judges commented that the team provide compassionate and respectful assistance to people experiencing homelessness, people who may be hoarders, and those who are living in squalor, with the practical and innovative programs that inform and support those in need. The Buried in Treasures program assists people experiencing hoarding to improve their quality of life and understand that their hoarding is a psychological problem through which they can work through. Transitional housing and life education programs are offered as ongoing support. Congratulations, South East Sydney team. Our second highly commended in this category is the Creative Therapy team at Montefiore. Creative therapists are based across the 4 sites, servicing over 400 residents, delivering tailored therapeutic programs in group and individual settings as per the resident's need. The presence of a dedicated creative therapy team within a residential aged care facility has significantly expanded the scope of care to acknowledge and champion the importance of enriching experience of creative self-expression and autonomy, as these all contribute to a person's well-being. The judges commented that the creative therapy team for allied health are a vital social and emotional support to members of the Sydney Montefiore community. This is done by harnessing creativity hand in hand with clinical care and offering residents an array of choices, all designed to impact positively on their living their best lives. They noted that it is clear that this team have so much care for their residents and thoroughly enjoy creating these therapy experiences that lift spirits and bring out the most creative sides of residents. And now we come to the Organisation Award, our final award in the 2022 LASA National Excellence in Aged Services Awards. This award recognises an organisation that has continuously showcased excellence through an initiative or contribution that improves the lives of older people through the delivery of care and services. This year we have 5 finalists in this final category. Bernie Bray. Bernie Bray is a not-for-profit incorporated association that opened in Chermside in March 1984. What started as a small membership-based social centre rapidly grew into the multifaceted centre standing today, with the inclusion of government-funded community care services also. Currently, Bernie Bray provides services to more than 9,000 individuals, with aged care services remaining at its core.
The contribution that Bernie Bray makes to the aged services industry is, given we were built around delivering services that meet both consumer and community members' physical and personal needs, while also creating community and overcoming isolation and loneliness. So by successfully providing government-funded services in an efficient way and our volunteer program, which is really robust, we're able to give back to the community by offering those free or low-cost member services that have expanded based on direct community need over the years since our 1984 inception. That we offer a whole of life experience connecting both the younger and older population, as members can join from the age of 18 through to our eldest, which is over the age of 100. The community care and membership model contributes to bringing people together, a continuity of care for those as they age, to still be engaging with those members' activities whilst then becoming a consumer of, say, a home care package, for example, and some of those items being subsidised as well.
Benetas. Benetas is a leading not-for-profit organisation with a mission to provide older Victorians, their families and carers with a full range of community-based retirement living and residential aged care services. Benetas supports almost 9,000 clients across 13 residential homes and 3 retirement homes, as well as offering care in the community.
For this project, we used a co-design methodology involving individual interviews, surveys, and small focus groups, COVID permitting. Over several months, we worked with participants from 4 of our residential homes to ask them what they needed during the transition, and in particular, what might have helped their mental health. One of the key questions was, what would you like to have known? And another one was, what would you tell somebody else planning a move about how to look after their mental health? And the findings really surprised us. Like most every service provider, we give people a lot of information, but it's clear now that that information wasn't really hitting the mark. It also wasn't actually in the format they wanted. So the surprise was also that residents wanted information in film format. And this is where our collaboration with our colleagues in the Customer Insights and Marketing team really came to the fore.
Perth Care and Companion Company. Perth Care and Companion Company commenced in June 2019 and have grown from 2 staff to 120 staff in February 2022. Servicing over 100 clients, PCCC provided tailored services which afford consistency of support to clients. They specialise in overnight care, long day respite and 24-hour living care, as well as traditional support in the community such as personal care, domestic assistance, social support, medication support and transport.
That's probably where I talked about our niche in the market is actually in long day respite, overnight care and live-in care. And that's the main reason why we actually started the business, because we saw that was where clients and carers actually were not being able to be serviced and getting supported. And also it's a service that most other organisations, even though they say they do it, they find it really hard to actually get their staff that they've got full rosters to be able to do that. So we started with the intention of that being, I suppose, the main product that we've actually got. And we do that for both private clients that pay us privately and also on behalf of the other organisations in Perth. And we provide a lot of that. And we also provide supports through Carers Gateway, so specifically for carers.
I think, the gap in the market that we identified, as Carol mentioned, is the ability for large organisations and small organisations to respond quickly to ad hoc type services like 24-hour live-in care if the primary care isn't available, but also for people who are under palliative care, being able to support them to go home under the palliative care community service and support them to die at home, which is usually everyone's wish.
Widden. Widden is a large not-for-profit organisation caring for more than 2,000 older people across regional, rural and remote New South Wales and Queensland. Founded in 1947, Widden has a rich history of caring for older Australians and provides residential aged care, community and disability care services and retirement living services.
Well, and I'll talk to you in terms of the award and the application or the submission we made for the award. So the journey Widden embarked on, it was really at the beginning of the COVID pandemic. And what really happened then, we found ourselves at the epicentre of a lot of the red zones in terms of where the outbreaks were occurring. And as a result of that, we really started this 12 to 18 month journey of innovating and really pioneering within the aged care space in regard to point of care testing. And at the time, rapid antigen tests, which are all too common now, were still going through TGA approval. They required registered nurse supervision. We partnered with a innovative health company, Pantonic Health, and got access to rapid antigen testing and ran the first significant trial of rapid antigen testing in aged care. And we conducted around over 5,000 tests at the time. We really pushed hard to get government backing and government support. We worked closely with the Department of Health at the time, and we pushed it forward to the extent that the government sponsored our trial and then sponsored further trials. And really that initial rapid antigen test trial led to the rollout of subsidised rapid antigen testing across Australia.
Bolton Clark. With RSL Care Queensland and the Rural District Nursing Service, or RDNS in Victoria, at its heart, Bolton Clark has been caring for Australians since 1885. Today, they are Australia's largest independent not-for-profit provider of comprehensive living, health and aged care services, operating nationally and internationally.
Look, Bolton Clark really is about building social connection and looking after our customers in a very person-centred way. And the COVID pandemic has really shone a light on the need for improving social connection. I think everyone during the pandemic has experienced that fear of being isolated and lonely, and particularly so with the age group that we support. So one of the initiatives that we developed was the How Are You telephone support program, where we had corporate volunteers who are actually ringing our clients on a weekly basis to provide social support. And the corporate volunteers came from all of those areas that support our frontline workers in terms of IT, legal, finance, people and culture, the research team, and our executive leadership team. Our CEO was actually calling a client on a weekly basis to provide that social support, which was really important. Another thing that happened during the pandemic was not just the social isolation, but because of the government restrictions, people have lost their physical activity levels. So they've actually become much more frail, and falls have increased exponentially across our home care division and also in our residential care homes because people were constrained to small environments. So what we've done is we've started implementing our Being Your Best, our frailty program, and that's got in-home interventions and also linking people later to community when they feel confident to go out.
Our judges also had a particularly hard time picking a winner for this category. From the 5 organisations, each one epitomises excellence in aged services through their innovation and delivery of care. It is my great pleasure to announce that in the organisation category this year, we're awarding 2 highly commended awards. I would like to say congratulations on your hard work and initiative to both Whitten and Bolton Clark, who have both received a highly commended award.
Whitten. During the COVID pandemic, Whitten realised the importance of point-of-care testing early, innovating and introducing 3 key point-of-care strategies within residential aged care and home care. This included the official trial of rapid antigen testing, while TGA approval was pending in residential aged care, extending this to the introduction of technology to support the mobile home care workforce. Whitten was the first provider in Australia to trial RA and RPCR testing. For the RA trial, they partnered with health crisis experts Respond Global and conducted due diligence to ensure RA tests were an effective screening tool and could integrate into existing rosters to minimise impacts on already stretched rosters. The judges said that Whitten's trial of rapid antigen testing assisted in maximising resident care and safety, whilst minimising disruption on the critical workforce. Early diagnosis not only helped to save lives, but intervention strategies were put in place to reduce spread. Rapid testing for COVID saves time, staff hours, and reduces the risk and stress to clients and their families, as well as safeguarding remote communities. This was very important work carried out in partnership by Whitten. Our second highly commended goes to Bolton Clark. Bolton Clark has a key focus on social connection through implementing a number of initiatives, including How Are You?, Connecting Communities to Care, Life Stories program, and many more. COVID-19 has showed an even greater need for a coordinated and evidence-informed response for clients and residents that recognise the vital importance of social connection for our health and wellbeing. Among their own home care client base, they've seen an increase in falls among older people living alone during COVID-19. To try and mitigate this, they have fast-tracked their in-home frailty strategies and rolled out their How Are You? Corporate volunteer peer telephone support program to help address this. The judges commented that incredible initiatives have been implemented to support the key issues faced by the sector, with research findings used to assist closing the gap on the health and wellbeing currently available for older people. They said Bolton Clark played a critical and important role in aged care through their research and their total commitment to community engagement. Their numerous programs are all designed to support and promote social connectivity, thus enriching and improving clients' quality of life. It is now my great pleasure to hand over to Ian Collier to announce the overall winner in this category.
Congratulations to all finalists on your achievements so far. All 5 organisations epitomise excellence in aged services, but there can only be one winner. It is now with great excitement that I can announce the winner of the LASA Organisation Award for 2022 goes to Bernie Bray.
Someone commences government-funded services with us, they also have the opportunity to engage with and access all of our member services, and some of those even subsidised. And their needs are met in a holistic way, focusing on the whole person, not just task-based in-home care. And the same applies to members who approach our centre and access regular activities or services, however, begin to age and require that in-home support. The impact on the lives of older people is everything from reducing social isolation, bringing them together. They may receive government-funded transport to attend one of our activities, finish their Bollywood dancing class and meet up with their friends in our cafe. They might pick up some information to learn about booking a trip around Europe together at our travel agent, book their next haircut or podiatrist visit before leaving, and arrive home via government-funded transport to receive their domestic assistance via Commonwealth Home Support Program. So it's this all-encompassing improvement on wellbeing, connectedness, care, and a whole of life journey, all the way to making sure that they're as independent as possible to live in their community and filled with joy and accessing activities that bring them joy, not just meet clinical needs, for example, although very important.
Bernie Bray is built around delivering services that meet consumers and members' physical and personal needs, while also creating community and overcoming the isolation and loneliness that might impact their enjoyment on this stage of life. Through research, consumer consultation and a strong community identified need, Bernie Bray implemented its business model to support consumers via a combined care services and member services approach. By offering not only government-funded supports, but also an inclusive and diverse member hub or centre, they've been able to offer not only support to keep vulnerable consumers at home for longer, but also engage and welcome them to the Members Hub to connect with peers and seek opportunities and activities to bring joy into their homes within their own community. The judges commented that Bernie Bray has developed, implemented and is continuing to provide a service that assists reducing the isolation and loneliness seniors face. They commented that the Community Hub is a great way to keep their clients connected while providing opportunities to bring joy into their lives. They said Bernie Bray is a vibrant organisation providing excellence and service delivery to their community. Their commitment, dedication and hard work fosters and enhances quality care outcomes that are purposeful and enrich the lives of the people they care for. Well, what a fantastic range of winners and finalists. Congratulations again to all of our winners, our finalists, and all of you who nominated for an award. I am so impressed with the level of excellence among so many nominees from around Australia. Even though we face challenges, the good and the great and the excellent will always shine through. I'd like to thank the judging panel for their work in finding the best of the best. And thank you to Hester and McCulloch Robertson for your support for these awards and for the aged services industry. Thanks to all of you for watching and joining in our celebration of excellence in aged services on this Aged Care Employee Day. Thank you.